the primaries, which was a very, very interesting time. I remember my challenger, and it was certainly interesting because it was a different dynamic for me. And also after I won my ticket, I had different types of other rivals to deal with. And what is most important is that everybody plays fair and everybody plays right. But I hope to share with you at this podcast some of the strategies I use to navigate those times, because there's an understanding that people might be a bit daunted with going into the political rivalry and opposition generally. So, well, entering politics as a freshman is definitely going to be daunting. This is your first time. It was for me. I bet it is for you. But politics is highly competitive. And it goes without saying that you would always have people opposing you, whether within the party or outside the party. And so you're going to face challenges. You're going to face people that are going to obviously want exactly the same thing that you want. And so how you navigate it is extremely important, and this is what we're trying to address today. So the first thing is that understand that there will be challenges, and you must learn how to gain insights into your competitors' strategies. What are they doing? What is giving them, if you like, conducting a SWOT? Where are they at? What is going to give them the advantage or the leverage? The second thing or challenge you must understand is the ability to differentiate yourself from this crowd, from whether it's at the primary level or is after you win the ticket. You're going to always continue to find a way to stand out in a market that is highly crowded, that everybody wants the same thing. And I think that's a skill you will learn even from this podcast. The third thing, or third challenge I foresee you having, is being able to maintain your focus amidst the different, things, parts moving, amidst the rivalry, trying to raise money, trying to do several other things at the same time. And you must find a way to stay focused on the long-term goal and maintain or manage your rivals to the extent that you are not at their mercy. The last challenge I expect you to have realistically is how do you build those alliances? How do you build those partnerships? How do you form the right type of partnerships that will give you a competitive edge? Because you can get into some alliances that will be detrimental to your cause. And so these are the sort of things that I hope we'll be able to share some strategies with you during this podcast. So let's take it up now. The first one I want to talk about is building alliances. I think this is an extremely important one because I remember in my time, I had different groups of people, power brokers as it were, within my constituency. And what was interesting was they all didn't work with each other. And for someone that wanted to win, I didn't want to take sides, because taking sides naturally will mean, if you like, going against the other person. So I had to learn how to deal with the different stakeholders, how to learn to deal with the different power groups to be able to find some form of consensus, so that even though naturally they wouldn't work with each other, they all decided to come together to work with me and get the position that I wanted. So you must learn to find ways to work with people within the party, people outside the party, including opposition. And, I remember one of the candidates, I remember during my campaign, I had people reaching out to me from the opposition party, particularly maybe because they had not liked the way the selection process had gone. And this is common in politics. And so you have people come up to you wanting to build alliances with you because they're not happy where they are. Of course, we also have situations where you go into some fake alliances and then they try and bite you at the end of the day. So you must be very careful when we're talking about alliances. You're looking for complementary strengths. You're looking for people that will bring mutually beneficial relationships with you, because politics is primarily about interests, and you want to make sure that your interests are aligned, your interests are in order, and you can manage that relationship. Alliances obviously exceed, or it's much more than just the party system. You must build alliances with security agencies, particularly in Africa, where we know that there's a lot of violence and whatnot that has been associated with our political situation. I didn't face any, but I know that it's something a lot of people are concerned about. So you need to have relationships with security, you have to have with media houses to amplify your voice, and you need to understand very quickly that these relationships and these alliances will be key in your journey in politics. The second thing or strategy I think you should deploy is understand your competitors. You must know their strengths, you must know their weakness, you must understand the strategies they are employing to gain any advantage. And if you like, you might even want to do a proper analysis, competitive analysis, so that you can monitor their activities, you can know where they have gone, you can understand what they're doing, and all of this is helping you build better strategies. I remember during our election, we had a situation where we had to do research to discover where the stronghold of the opposition was and where we were better placed. And once we were able to discover that from the first set of elections that happened, it helped us to plan and strategize for the subsequent election. So we were able to learn the lessons from the first election, and that helped us, because obviously you need data to be able to do strategy. Unfortunately, data wasn't readily available, but because our elections were the second elections, we were able to take data from the first election to help us build the right strategy. So what I'm saying in essence is have very strong competitors analysis, so that you know your strongholds, you know where you're weak, you know how to build on your strongholds, you know how to support and engage your strongholds, because there's also the school of thought which says leave your strongholds and focus on your weak areas. I believe you need to really empower your strongholds and limit or manage the damage that can be done to you from your weak areas. And I think these are all strategies that are important in politics. You must also develop strategies to address your opposition constructively. What can we offer? Now, this is about you. What can we offer that your competitors cannot? What are the current trends that will favor us? What are the things that we have, the unique selling proposition you are offering, why people should listen to you, why people should want to support you? And it could be as simple as just even the way you present yourself, your brand, your public relations, the way you engage with community. These are all very important strategies that will differentiate you. In my time, I discovered that just the ability to relate with everybody was something that was highly crucial in helping us achieve our goals, in helping us achieve it was the fact that I wanted to be relatable, I wanted to be accessible, I wanted to close the gap between myself and the people, I wanted to be in the midst of the people I was going to represent. And that was certainly something that helped us. I also had done an analysis, and I knew that we were offering much more in terms of what we wanted to deliver, in terms of our understanding of how government worked, in terms of all of that. Now, I've said this to say that you must know your strengths, you must know your opportunities, and you must be able to present that in a way that would differentiate you from the crowd. The last thing I want to talk about is maintaining integrity and your focus on the long-term goals. Please, even if your opponents are playing below the line, try as much as possible to play above the line. Yes, I know it is common practice to have informants in camps and understand what the other person is doing. These are standard rules, but please, if you're going to be a person of integrity, don't play it below the line. You have to be able to understand how to communicate your own strengths, how you're going to have to work with your audience, as it were, and how you're going to be ahead of the competition so that you can manage and the conflicts, and you can build trends that will help you in your journey. You must also do all of this without damaging your reputation. Integrity is key in the type of politics we want to play. It is important that you do not play the type of politics that will eventually turn the crowd against you. You don't want to play the type of politics that will instigate sympathy for your opponents. So even though you thought you were being smart or clever, but you were highly underhanded, you have therefore allowed your opponent to play the sympathy card to your detriment. And this is something that I have seen over and over again happen to many people, whether intentionally or not. They had to bear the brunt for it. So please develop a clear strategic plan, prioritize the key initiatives, maintain open communication channels within your organization, within your community. Make sure that everybody is on the same page, everybody understands what we're trying to do, and everybody is playing with the same set of values, so that you do not make a win today and lose tomorrow. But it is what it is. That's why they call politics a game. They believe it is believe that only one person can win. And so when that is the case, it is a game, and somebody has to be a winner, somebody has to be a loser. Whatever the case, remember that it is part of the system, it is adversarial, it is competitive, but your values, your integrity must continue to hold you as you apply these strategies, whether it's the building of consensus or monitoring opposition, or just knowing what you have to offer. You must always try and be above the line and actually play the integrity card every time, because in the long run, it will pay you. I hope this helps you. Until the next episode, stay well, stay blessed. See you soon.